When someone says they love you this much, you gotta wonder what that really means to me. And it's as far as my arms could reach. So I often hear it like this. What would it do? Well, it didn't do anything. I went to it like that also. Because it loves you this much. Just don't forget the other side. This much. When you bring that back to the center, nothing could be stronger than the words of those who claim to love you that much, but don't see you like that here, talking to you that way also. If we all looked at each other that way, you'd probably consider it a bit better to talk to you the way that we talked to that also, except one thing happened then that we're doing now also, is talking to each other the same way we talked to it when it was here. So no matter who's loving you this much, as long as you're fighting that person loving you with their words in any way, shape, or form, no fear, you're just like the ones that took it to its grave also. No matter what the truth is about that story, it's a story. That's why they call it a story. So it's no better than a fantasy today. We don't have perfect history, except for a few. Those that have the perfect history sit silent too, because most don't hear it. It's that ugly, okay? That's why. So when we look at each other, if we look at each other like we love each other this much, and we really mean it, and don't be out of touch with my words when I tell you, you're not loving me like that right now. If you're hurting me, when I sit silent, or I am silent, that's not my happy place. That's my default for things that want to talk over me, because it doesn't want to hear my voice. It wants me to not be heard with you. So like that, it put me on the cross. I loved you that much too, because I put myself in all those positions with you, just to sit here and say it. Great, I'm not on a cross. Neither are you. But if we looked at each other that way, perhaps you would understand what I mean when I say, you're not doing anything it does because it didn't do anything to you while you were doing that to it today. It made sure of it too, because that's what we were supposed to do. And so far, I only counted a few that ever went that way. Some were written about, some were not. Some still live to this day. Some don't care. Most do not. That's okay. We're getting away from that exit to get back on the information highway, where we love each other that much, because that's the new intergalactic mode for thinking. We have to be friendly with those who are thinking to be fair. Being is being. If you know how being is being at our level, that would only rip and tear others at different levels from their level to have to exonerate our existence because they are not like us and are more efficient. Well, only the strong survive, we know that. So, what is weak is dishonesty. Human beings, most of all, have been dishonest. Is it their fault? No. Do we all know that? No. If we did, you wouldn't whip me with your Savior's words. You wouldn't hang us with its story. You wouldn't burn it with its truth. You could see it connected to its glory if you just saw the science talking to us the way it does. Well, you do. And continue to watch us whip ourselves instead of letting us have it the way I'm giving it to you now also. You need more information. If you're angry and you take it out on others, you only hurt yourself. If you're hurting yourself like that, sit silent until you're done hurting yourself. When you're done doing that, as long as it takes, great, you can come back and be part of society at our level, so that the international galactic mode for thinking could rest well with your position with us also. Not to fear what you could do, because you're capable. But what's cool about options is you don't have to. So human beings are capable of being changed as long as they are changing it. If the individual decides it doesn't want to be like anything else, you'd have to consider that for a while. What is that like? To not be like anything I see. Well, that must be like what it's like to be me. Because I'm me. But I needed you to show me that, so I see a lot of me in you also. Again, just me. So when I sit silent with myself like that, it's a retreat. Do I love to talk? Yes. Is it worth me dying for? No. So, don't whip me with its words, because you didn't hold it well, just like it did, to its grave. You could whip yourselves, but that just looks foolish. I suggest you sit silent, like I said, and when you're done fighting yourself. You know it's not kind to fight the others. You come back to society. Bingo, bango, bongo. Intergalactic. Superhuman. Intergalactic. That's what you will be. Because you no longer think on the wrong side of your head with emotions that no longer serve to hold our health positively, because you lack the words and purpose to give it to you that way. If I have it that way, then it's good. Just don't take me at my word to give purpose where there already was purpose, because that story is a good story. It does have truth connected to it, but like any story and its truth, there's a bit of fiction mixed in. So, pseudonyms for individuals that really live and will always live with me. All of us do. There's nothing that is being that isn't being with you. That is what you go home with, as one being. That being by itself. We are in exile until we learn to get along with others. When we learn to get along here, because we may, you will be conditioned for somewhere else, where anger is absolutely not allowed today. That is a sin in paradise. We know why. So, if you sat long enough to sit with that information, by now you should let go. You need to know how to do that. It's a skill. You need to be able to do that right now. If you were angry, let it go. Okay? I was too. Until that moment. So we did it together. That's how it works. When one fails, we all fail. But no one fails until we quit. If no one's quitting, then we keep going. When does life ever quit? Life will outgrow itself here by our standard, because we're just one piece of life. As a piece of life. That being is not seeing the big being always. Well, that big being is being always. So that's all it is. Keep you happy. Keep it strong. When you do that, you hold others with their happy also. Don't compete so much over the information. Are we excited God's home? Yes. Are we happy about others not being excited about that? Not so much. Do we have to learn to be okay with that also? Yes. And that's when you become the individual you always were. It's nothing new. The snake sheds its old skin, but the snake still goes on. That's like life too. We just used what we had here to explain things at a deeper level. And it took a lot of us lifetimes, eons, to get that information where it is, to fine tune. So it's not a problem. It's good information. All information is good information. Just don't be angry about it, because then that hurts everyone else. When you fight that angrily, because your truth is the only truth, the whole truth, and no truth is better than you. Well, if you did that, you're wrong. So don't do that. Now, we move on. Like that, you grow. Stop being afraid of what life is. We don't like war. We don't like all of those things. But that's part of what helps you grow. You have to learn. Did I learn? Yeah. I've got my bits and pieces of it. Genetically, imprinted on my being for all of the actions I've ever given you up until this moment and these moments going forward forever, as far as I will go. That is an imprint we create. That is the real book. That is life. You write it, just like that. So you don't need to write about something that's already writing itself. Go out and live. You can watch it later. They'll write books about it when you go, if they like. Some of us are here to do that too. We like doing that because it's what we like. But we work together to give community what it loves, heart. We don't take that from each other because we have it. And as long as we have heart here, we should honor that in everything here, anywhere it goes, because that's our love. And like children, if you have them, you love life also. We teach our children to love us and life like that as well, so that when they have their kids, they will raise them, practically speaking, more efficiently than I did. But that's just for me, not for y'all. So I learn too, just like that now. I'm not separate from the end, but the end is nowhere near. There is no ending to eternity, dear. You just do better. Move on. That is for my kids. That's the best information I could give them because that's how it is, and I did it in my own way. Because I love them that much. And today, we live in a society that loved it that much too, and brought laws to straighten out ones that would hurt people like me and you for speaking about it. Because they did. And when they were pushed into the grave, it made us angry. And unlike God, that hurt us. Because God didn't get angry because it understood. Like that, it's done. That's the only one. It will only ever be that one. You name it whatever you want. I know it exists. That's all I need to know for now. What its true name is? I won't give it to you. It's fair to say here, you won't find it. Because it's that good. If you're calling it and you found it here, what it truly is, it better be that good here with you also. Or we're in trouble. Because it's that good. Please, if you're going to play with God, be kind. We all are part of it. At every level. Just a big old piece of that little piece talking about that big piece we see in each other and have seen the whole time. This being, the big being, this experience is all we're seeing to make sense out of what is you. Well, you are you, seeing you at every level. And that's what it is. The more you collect that, if you sit peacefully with its information, the easier it is to collect that, the quicker you grow with it. The more love you feel, the quicker you get to the bliss that's waiting for you in your heart, where it is. Not to be like the others, but to be the individual you are. Not to fight back, and be good with that too. Because that's what it taught. Not just it, but many others. There were some that were unwritten, and like I said, they still live at every level. So, that's for that. We all want relief. Some of you won't get it, either way it goes. I only encourage you not to quit. Don't get angry, hurt others outside of you. You're only going to hurt yourself, and when you sit with yourself like that, sit silent until it's gone. When you're no longer angry, you come back to society, and then you're that intergalactic superhuman that I love. Because we all get along. Common sense. Big group hugs. We did it. That's life. That's what it's all about. Learn to love. Don't be angry. Like I was. It happens. That's not good. Don't do it. Ever. Please. If you may. When and where possible. I know it's not always possible. But sometimes we gotta try. Even in those positions where it seems impossible. Those are the moments you should be breaking through with victory. With your silence. Because that's what it's gonna take. To be like that. Loving you this much. While you look at it the way we did when we looked at it then too. The way you're looking at me sometimes when I see you. It feels the same. So let's not do that to each other. I see you the way that is too. Also. So I won't do that to you. I don't intend to do that. I do not wish to bring you pain. but I'm in pain. So if that's what I am, and that's what I'm holding, you could help me hold it, or let me hold it myself. Either way it goes, I'm holding it. Not with shame. Not with anger or malice. I let it go. And though it wants to hold on to that, every day is work to make sure I bring you the positive in my home, which is where my heart is. That's where my heart is always. This is my home. This is my temple. We keep it clean. The temple doesn't want an angry scene. So I had to have flaws to be flawless. And if you understood that, perfect. That's how it will go. Just like that always. Thanks. Have a good day. It is.